Good evening, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Welcome to another edition of the MMB Live Show. I'm Angela Green, Executive Director of On Location Memphis, and just want to welcome you to our show this evening. I have my partner in crime, Christy Taylor, with me. We're going to give you some of the entertainment, film, and music news, as well as some information about the Tennessee Arts Commission. So anyway, go ahead and hit the like button, share the stream, let everybody know that the MMB Live Show is happening right now. Hello, Miss Christy. How you doing?
Okay, I'm still in my summertime vibe, everybody. Hi, good morning, afternoon,
Hello,
and evening.
Sandra.
Dr. Hill Wilson. Welcome to MMB Live. First of October. We are in the fourth quarter.
We're in the fourth quarter, the home stretch. We're about to slide into 2023. Oh, it's just,
yeah.
It's hard to believe.
Season, basketball season, it's in full swing. You know, we're getting ready for the Grizzlies. I mean, folk are already, watching the games, the pre-games, all that kind of good stuff. But you know what we are into? We are about that film life,
and music life.
Yes, we are. Not that we hate on the sports now. It's entertainment. It's all entertainment.
Absolutely. Well, why don't you go ahead and kick us off with the film news?
Well, it's all about Emancipation. Now, top of the year, we know what happened at the Oscars when Will Smith won Best Actor for King Richard. And, prior to his ability to accept his award, there was a moment that he had with an old friend, Chris Rock, which actually, and I'm putting it lightly because there's been so many things that have happened since March. But one of the things that happened following that is that a lot of the projects that Will Smith was connected to were like brakes were put on them.
Right, absolutely, right.
They were like, pump the brakes. Matter of fact, pull the car over.
Put in time out. That's what he was putting time out.
Yeah, so a lot of his projects were put in time out. But now, as of this week, I guess we are starting to see, after he has had spiritual moments and apologies and probably all kind of, backdoor conversations with those who matter the most, not just in his family and his friend circle, but probably the industry. Of course, we know the Academy, put a ban on him, and before he could put a ban, he resigned. But let me tell you who's starting to show him love. Now, of course, there's some individuals, but I want to talk about Apple TV. Now, prior to the slap heard around the world and seen around the world, Will Smith's Emancipation that was filmed in the South, and quite a few people between, I got to give shout outs to those who were actors and producers and grips and all that below the line who had a chance to work on this project, whether they were in Georgia or in Louisiana. Well, it was put on pause, but now the word is, per Variety.com, that Will Smith's Emancipation is set to release this year, and that Apple now has dropped a trailer. They had pushed it to 2023, but they were like, nah. We need to bring it back to 2022, which it was initially planned. So this is a surprise shift, Angela, to this year's award season. Now, I know we just said that the last time we had an award show and Will Smith was a part of it, he was up for Best Actor for King Richard. He won. And here it is now. We're preparing for award season all over again. This is when the studios and the production companies and everybody goes into high campaign and start pushing their movies. And so Apple announced the news this Monday. Today that they're.
I think that's probably a money move. I mean,
it's totally a money move.
I think that film was already finished, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was completely finished.
It
was completely finished, probably in post. Now, of course, I got to say that this is the first trailer, and one of my favorite Black directors, Antoine Fuqua, who does a lot of Denzel Washington type movies. I mean, a lot of different movies. Look him up, y'all. He's been around forever, a good 30 years in the game. And this was an opportunity for them, Will Smith and he, to pair up. And Emancipation is set to premiere in theaters. Now, this is another thing, too, we've talked about, Angela, about theatrical releases and the streaming releases. And for Apple TV Plus, who's actually releasing the movie, to be a streaming platform, they are releasing Emancipation theatrically on December the 2nd.
Well,
And
see,
then it's going to stream
Apple,
on the 9th.
well, Apple Plus, they know how to work the game. I mean, they won Best Picture. Was that earlier this year for Coda?
Yes, they did for Coda.
So they know what they need to do. It has to come out in the theaters for, a period of time before, so they can qualify. So I'm not surprised by that at all. I hope it lives up to the hype, that it is a project that's
let me tell
worthy.
you. Yeah, of course, they actually said that it was set and you already spoke to the money move, because some of their other releases over the summer, including a Sundance favorite, Cha Cha Real Smooth, and also Sundance Animation's Luck, didn't gain the momentum that Apple Plus thought they were going to have. Even a Martin Scorsese mega budgeted Western, Killers of the Flower Moon, it won't be ready till next year. So it really did come back down to, we need to pull out Will Smith. Yes, we know there's still a little
it's not much, because I believe it feel like a year ago to me. And
it does.
Right, it was just March.
So I know. Okay,
it's been enough time.
It's been enough time. So they said, with its slate of prestige titles now relatively slim, Emancipation is seeing the money move as Apple's best shot in making an impact in the coming Oscar race. And of course, if they won Best Picture last night with Coda, they had to come back with something that would at least make them a contender. Because you don't want to lose a year after winning Best Picture. You just can't do it. Now, it was written by Bill Collage, produced by Todd Black, Joey McFarlane, John Monet, and now check this out. It actually stars Will Smith as a runaway who becomes known as Whipper Peter, and there are going to be photographs of the scarring and the kiloing of his back. I mean, it's a very intense movie, and it really is about him navigating the swamps of Louisiana, trying to escape the plantation owners who have nearly killed him. Now, actually, I saw the trailer. It's very intense. I like the way they shot it. It has a really nice historical look to it, meaning it could almost be a history film, the way they shot it. It's not high glossy, but I'm looking forward to it. So if you all want to, the official trailer for Emancipation from Apple TV Plus, starring Will Smith, who apparently is now out of the doghouse, is available for you to check out. Check it out. But let me tell you something, okay? From one king, as in King Richard, Will Smith, who he played, to another king, I'll say a mythical king. We're talking about Black Panther, the sequel.
Oh yeah, November 11th, correct?
November the 11th. So, of course, for the holidays, you can have Wakanda Forever in November and prepare yourself for December the 2nd for Emancipation. That's a lot of heavy Afrocentric themed movies that are high budgeted, big budgeted projects. Now, let me tell you about Wakanda Forever. Now, I've been watching some of the other trailers, the more like you don't know what's really going on. It's just really high on cinematography. But this new trailer, I think you had a chance to check it out a little bit. But
yeah, it looks really good. But I'm sorry, I'm team recast T'Challa. So I mean, I'm a little tank. I just can't help it.
Well, there's a okay. Well, while they did not per the trailer, they did not recast T'Challa, but they definitely had somebody by the end of this trailer in the Black Panther suit. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah, and I think we are predicting who that is. I think we all know who that's gonna be. But we don't know.
They're saying the character who plays his sister, but then there's also the talk that it could Lupita's character, which was like his, his right hand love interest. We'll see. Well, I know one person. I know one person that ain't.
Okay.
His mama.
Well, yeah, we know she's. We know
Angela Bassett didn't put that suit on. Angela Bassett did not put that suit on.
But you know what? She does take a larger role in this film. What I can see in the trailers or whatever. I mean, they really leaned on her in this movie. So I don't doubt it's going to be a good movie.
Oh, they're saying. Yeah. Now, one thing that I saw from this Hollywood Reporter article, they said that this time they're really positioning it where they can even bring a classic villain. And we're talking about from the full Marvel comic universe, not just from the movies, but from all the comics since the 1960s, including being able to bring into the MCU and into the Black Panther storyline a character from the Fantastic Four, an antagonist. So that's going to be very, very interesting. But in this movie for Black Panther Wakanda Forever, the antagonist is Namor, which is he is basically the god of the underworld, and more importantly of the sea. I love the fact that M'Baku, he has a very high role in the trailer, which I love. First of all, I just totally love that character. I fell in love with him, and I was like, "Oh, I wish he could be the new king of Wakanda." Yeah, I didn't want him to be T'Challa, but I wouldn't have mind if he had taken over. But like you said, Angela Bassett, the sister, they definitely look like they're now, no pun intended, they're the woman kings. They're the women kings of Wakanda. But we don't know who actually puts on the Black Panther suit. So that's going to be interesting. But one last thing. They said that there is, in respect for not T'Challa so much, but Chadwick Boseman, it is a somber tone. You can tell that Ryan Coogler definitely incorporated the message of grief even around the passing and the mourning, the death of King T'Challa. And it gives everybody an opportunity in many, many ways to actually grieve the loss of the actor who pretty much, put his forever stamp into that character. But there, of course, they said that's probably, what they're showing us in these initial trailers. But I think as time get closer and closer, y'all need to check out the latest movie poster is phenomenal. It's really phenomenal. So check out Black Panther Wakanda Forever, the latest trailer and the poster. It's all that in a bag of chips. I'm looking forward to November the 11th. Last but not least,
in the theater.
Last but not least, speaking of, but before you can get to December to see Emancipation with Will Smith, who's now officially, back on the scene. Last but not least, during the month of October, just go to Netflix and watch Tyler Perry's latest movie that everybody is talking about too, the Jazzman. So,
we're gonna definitely get into a spoiler discussion of the Jazzman's Blues.
Yeah, the Jazzman's
Sundry. So we just need to schedule that because I actually did watch that this past weekend, and I do have some thoughts, but I'm gonna save it.
Ooh, I need to hurry up and watch it then because I was like, I need 2.5 hours to watch this movie. So yeah, you need to.
Under music news, not that much going on, but I do have a couple of things.
There's not a lot going on. Shucks, there's a lot going
on. Interesting. I thought this was interesting. Billboard wrote an article concerning Lizzo and her, I guess, her current tour.
What is it? The flute?
Current tour and her, I guess what she's doing is basically they have invited her to the Smithsonian and they've given her access to many historical flutes. And one in particular is a performance that she did with James Madison's crystal flute. So that performance actually caught the eye of their, I guess, of the estate of the president.
Of President James Madison. Now, understand that flute. I understand that she played is like no one has touched it in like what 200 years.
200 years. Yeah, absolutely. It's very interesting. So the state, they put out a statement that the talented and classically trained Lizzo brought history to life as far as they're concerned. When she played President James Madison's crystal flute at, I guess it was a packed arena in Washington, D.C. And so they are hoping that she may, actually come to their location. I think it's the James Madison Montiplier.
The name of his estate. Yes.
His estate. They would like for her to actually make a stop at his estate.
Wow.
And possibly do a performance there. So she's currently on tour. And she's, like I said, she went to the Library of Congress and she's played a number of flutes. But this particular, playing this particular flute has caught, the tension of people in the industry, and I thought that was kind of interesting.
It was,
Kind of
it
bringing
was
history,
time,
basically bringing history to life. So, what
literally.
you say?
And,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a chance to catch some of the clips, some of the behind the scenes, video footage and stuff. And there is one flute where she goes into the rotunda and she plays one of the many, many buildings in
Mm-hmm.
DC. But I did see where she, for a moment, was in the archival room because they didn't,
Reading
and then
room.
yeah, uh-huh. And
Mm-hmm.
then they did bring it out to her when she was on stage at a later time. And you can
Mm-hmm.
tell, just like when they have very expensive jewels or diamonds
Right.
that they're like on the sideline, as soon as she puts it down, they
They're coming to get it. This is
this
priceless
is
artifacts,
priceless. Yes,
so to
and
speak.
she basically literally played a historical artifact. And I had to say this, for her to be an African American in the 21st century playing the flute of someone over 200 years old. Wow, there's so
Yeah.
much. There's so much into that. It's so much
Yeah.
into that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And another article that I thought was very interesting, I think we can actually do a full OLM live discussion on this. But California, their governor just signed a bill to keep rap lyrics out of court.
Is that Governor Newsom?
That's I believe that is Governor Newsom, Gavin Newsom. He
Gavin
did this.
Newsom.
He actually just signed it on September 30th. It's the first law of its kind. It's basically just for the state of California, so it is just a
But what
state
does that
law.
mean as an attorney? What are they saying?
So
If you,
it's essentially it's a law that restricts prosecutors from citing rap lyrics as criminal evidence against artists who wrote them. So they're not basically saying that they can't use the lyrics, but there's a hurdle of proof that they have to cross in order for them to enter those lyrics into evidence. And I guess a lot of this came up because there's been some racial bias surrounding rap music, rap lyrics in particular, rap music. And Young Thug and Gunna, they're two rappers who are currently in jail in Georgia and awaiting trial on indictment that heavily quoted, the indictment heavily quoted their lyrics as a part of it.
as
So
a confession, as a recorded
as basically a recorded confession, so to speak. So a lot of people in the industry have kind of saw this as basically dampering freedom of expression, for artists, and basically tainting the jury against the artists, who are supposed to be presumed innocent before proven guilty. So they feel like something needed to be put in place. They are looking at a federal law as well, but most think it's not, it doesn't have as much of a chance to make it or to be enacted. So, we're probably looking at state to state. And I think New York considered such legislation as well, but it did not pass through. But they are, they're committed to reintroducing something to their legislature to see if they can get something passed.
My thought, even as we're talking about this, is another side to this is the fact that previously all rappers were known to be lyricists or rhymers. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Now the industry is really filled with rappers who are just like a typical singer. They're just reciting somebody else's words. So in many cases, it literally could not be their life. Like they literally could just be
Yeah, they
a
could
talented performer who's interpreting,
playing a role. You know what I'm saying,
playing.
so to speak, playing a role.
Why did that Chris Rock movie just come to my mind? Was it Chris Rock?
CB4,
CB4.
yeah, that from the 90s.
He saw it. He was foretelling the future. He
He
was
was
foretelling the
foretelling. I
future.
mean, he should. I didn't even think about that, but you're
Oh my
absolutely
God.
correct
As soon
about
as
that.
you said that, yes. Yeah,
But
it could be an industry full of CB4s, like characters who literally, and that's really what some of the, even the beef within the industry has been, that a lot of true hip hop artists and who are actual rappers and they write their own line, lyrics and stuff like that, are constantly coming for those who could never do a freestyle because they can't come off the dome. I mean, that was some of the beef between even in the ladies circle with Nicki
Mm-hmm.
Minaj and Cardi B. It's known that Nicki Minaj writes all her lyrics and Cardi does get assistance. We don't say how much assistance,
But need
she
some
gets
assistance.
assistance. So yeah, that's another point too. It's like how
Yeah,
much
that
is
is
it
a
fact
point.
and fiction, and is it even the rapper's life?
Right. And I guess that's the question. I think in the past,
When you had
many of
true
these
figures,
rappers were rapping about their
their
real
life is
life. And I
correct.
think that's what I think that's why they were moved to kind of do that. But again, as we have grown and as the industry has evolved, that may not necessarily be the case today,
Mhm.
in today's world. So they've started the trend, usually once it passed one state,
California and
many
California
states,
tends to, yeah, California, New York tends to, the coastal
yeah.
states tend to kind of work their way to the middle.
Right,
So,
absolutely. So as they continue to, it evolves and grows, and people start, looking at the legislation and tweaking it, you may find, more.
ooh, Nicki Minaj,
Oh, really?
friend, was writing her
Hmm.
lyrics.
Okay.
Say his name, oh God. That was one of their beef when they broke up, is that he used to say he wrote her, and that was her, her thing, that she did write herself.
So
But yeah,
he must wasn't getting paid, because I mean, if he was writing the lyrics, he should have been put down. They should have put him down as a writer, and he should have been getting some publishing. But they
man,
must, for him to be beefing about it, he must have gotten
yeah,
cut
this
out
is especially
some
when
kind
they
of
broke
way.
up. Especially, ooh,
Especially when they broke up. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Because I think it's because when she would be rapping about these other chicks not writing their lyrics. I
Hmm.
think that's when he, and they're not together anymore. He's like, I ain't got to protect her. Yeah, I do remember that, but they probably paid him because he doesn't really talk about that as much anymore.
Oh yeah, they probably broke him off, because if he was actually
Yeah,
really
yeah.
writing
What's
them,
his name?
it was
Yeah,
about to get ugly real quick.
yes, yes, Safaree
Okay.
Samuels. Because he
Okay.
ended up, if I remember correctly, I think he ended up on a reality TV show and getting connected with Faith Evans. If I
Oh,
remember
okay.
the same young man.
All right.
And I did say
Okay.
young man. Okay, I'm sounding really old. Anyway, let's get out this word because
Anyway, I guess
it's
that's the
aging me.
wrap.
It's aging
I
me.
guess that's the wrap for film and
Yes,
music news this month.
that's right.
We're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Well, all right.
Yes.
Welcome back to the second half of MMB Live. We do this
Hello,
every
Derek.
first Monday. Hey, Derek Dean. Good evening to you as well. Oh, LA's in the house. Dr. Robert
Woohoo!
L. Jameson. Thank you. Thank you so much. You all can definitely drop some, quotes and comments and questions as well. This is
Feel free to get
absolutely
in.
live. We are live and in living color. And
Feel
I
free
told
to
her,
get in on the conversation, so to
get
speak.
in on this conversation. Hey, Lynn
Sure.
Cola.
Hello.
Okay,
So,
so that was our film and our music news. So, what's happening in Memphis? What's happening in Tennessee, lady?
what's happening with On Location Memphis? So, I
Oh,
am very happy to announce that we are moving on up.
moving
We
on
have
up.
finally gotten our first contract with the Tennessee Arts Commission. So we've
Wow.
always been supported by the Tennessee Entertainment Commission for several years, really through the work that we've done through our film festival. But as we have made this transition and pivot to a mission that is geared more towards the business side of the industry, film and music, and working with artists on that, and creating programming to that end, we are trying to make more relationships, different relationships, and we had the opportunity to start really building a relationship with the Tennessee Arts Commission. I don't know if people are familiar with the Tennessee Arts Commission, but they've been around since 1967. They were created by the Tennessee General Assembly with the special mandate, and that's to stimulate and encourage the preservation of the visual, literary, music, and performing arts, and to encourage public interest in cultural heritage of Tennessee. So that's their mission. And we're glad to be a part of that, that they thought enough of us to say, hey, we want to try to build a relationship with you. And so that's why I'm really pleased that we are able to do that. And so this is our first grant, reimbursement grant. And
Yay. That's right, Margaret Hatter.
And so and they also host many programs that help continuously fund the arts. And so I don't know if people are aware of this one particular program that they have, which is the Tennessee Specialty License Plates.
Okay.
I didn't know anything about this, actually.
You know something, I've actually seen, but I've seen like Arts Memphis, we have a lot of organizations locally, St. Jude, you'll see these specialty license plates, but no, I've never really just seen people, rolling around. That's right. Hey, that's right. Yay.
Hey, Miss Sharon. Yeah.
Congratulations, Angela.
Yeah, they are part of the Tennessee Specialty License Plates program, and they have arts plates is what they kind of refer it to. And people can support the arts here in Tennessee by just getting one of the plates. And I mean, they have some pretty interesting and unique looking plates that people can they can get. I guess we're going to show a couple just so people can see what we got. This one, this is my favorite right here.
Oh, of course, yes. That's a cool one.
That's a cool one. That's representing music.
Yeah.
Which that's what we're all about. I'm waiting for the one that represents film. I haven't seen that one, but this one, I just fell in love with this one as soon as I saw it. Yeah. I was like, I may have to run out and get that one for myself.
Yeah, I like that a lot. First is the cat, the saxophone. I like how that's the sound waves, and then you see arts, Tennessee arts, and I like that's a really cool one.
That's a real cool one. Now this one is geared more towards.
Oh, wait a minute! Oh, now you know I'm a poet.
Yes, I do. Ooh, I do.
A poetry book and a spoken word CD. Oh my goodness! All right.
So that was a nice one. Art poet, and then. Let's see this one here.
Okay.
Artizing.
Icing.
Artizing. If you put it all together.
Icing.
I'm reading it as artizing. Like putting it all together. Wouldn't you say that? Because I don't understand icing. But artizing, so to speak. Yeah, create a word.
Okay. Or maybe they forgot to put the ing, put the I at the end, but another ng.
Yeah, or something like that. And then this was another one.
Okay. I like that.
This one. I like this one.
That's a pretty traditional one if you just kind of want to put a little extra flair to it. Yeah.
So it's really easy. I mean, if a person is, interested in doing this, they actually can just I think they could just basically take their old plate to the county clerk's office and swap it out.
Oh, don't say the county clerk.
Yeah, they'll.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, God.
We may not want them to do anything extra, but
right. No, but no. Let's go back to how we can support the arts. The Tennessee Arts Commission is by getting a arts specialty plate. And yes, thank you, Robert. Yeah, they do great creativity.
Yes,
but I'm like you. I really like that cool cat.
I like that cool cat. So you can take your old plate to the county clerk's office, swap it out.
She laughing at us.
Prorate your tag fee, so you don't have to wait until your tag renewals.
Okay.
So you can do it right now. You can go out next, tomorrow.
You can go out right now and stand in line with everybody else trying to get the other ones. Ooh.
Yes. So that's what's going on new.
But hold on. Let me just recap something, because for those who may not even fully understand why this is so important, because I think a lot of times, this is the MMB Live, which is the Memphis Music Banq monthly live show that we do. And can we pull back to why both the Tennessee Arts Commission and the Tennessee Entertainment Commission have been supportive of the work that you're doing? I mean, like you said before, On Location Memphis was known primarily as a film and music festival, but just kind of I think we have a few minutes to kind of just bring them up to speed what has been happening, because the pandemic kind of put brakes on some things.
It did kind of put some brakes on some things, but this was in the making long before the pandemic came into fruition. We have been evolving really ever since I took over On Location Memphis back in 2014. And most people know, they know On Location Memphis really by the film festival. Most people know it by the film festival. And we did host 2 film festivals after I took over the organization, but I really felt it was time to pivot, to make a change that was really the best for the organization, but actually the best for this community. You don't want to be oversaturated with people doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? You
We
want
have some
to be able
amazing film festivals here.
We have
That's right.
some amazing film festivals here already doing the job, and we felt that there was a space that was not being served in the film and the music community. And that space was the business side, how to monetize content and how to basically do business in the film and music space. I mean, we're well known for creating the music. We can create the music, we can create the films, we can write, we can perform, we can shoot, we can create the content out of this world.
Yes.
But you have to monetize. There's a way to monetize the content, which we know is valuable because we know that we have the talent here that can create the valuable content, but we have to learn how to monetize that content to ensure that the creators are the ones who are able to reap the benefits, the financial benefits from the content that they have created. And so that's what we've kind of done. We've kind of slid into that space. With me and my background in entertainment law on the music side, it was a simple, easier transition to slide into the music licensing and placement space because I understood that world. It was a world that was needed. That space was needed for understanding. Many times independent artists are always asking, how do I get placement? How do I get, I don't understand scoring. How do I get into that world? And it is a world that is kind of close to the chest. It's not easy. It's not easy to get into that space. And so being able to take the background of the organization, pair it up with my knowledge on the music and legal side, and create the Memphis Music Banq was that first program to help artists and filmmakers because we all know music is a very important part of that film project, and not having the music legally buttoned down and in order could really derail the monetization process, for that film project, how far it can go, who will be willing to pick it up, or costing more money to recut, to add, to change music out if you're not able to secure the licensing, for the music that your first choice. So to speak. And so it's really a program that is designed for both. It does allow those music artists to do business in this space and earn money while they're doing business. It also allows those filmmakers to learn about the different licensing and get in the habit of buying music, purchasing music, and understanding that is a part of that should be a part of their budget when they are
the production budget should include
when they're planning that, because it is a very absolutely important aspect, of their project. So that was our first.
And that's one of the reasons why I've loved, and I'm jumping in here because, and one way to prove that is pre-pandemic, like right before that, we created a mixer to bring filmmakers and music creators in the same room over at the Slim House in Soulsville, right beside Stax, and that was the MMB Live Mixer Competition, which is just a friendly opportunity for a filmmaker to provide 3 or 4 clips, 60 to 90-second clips, and then having those in the Memphis Music Banq to pair off for competitions, just to friendly show how do you approach, a visual content. What music do I put with it? Do I put one of my original songs? Do I create something, from scratch? Do I use something that's already in the bank? Placement, scoring, even learning those types of things, which has really been really fun because everybody who's come is like, what exactly is a scoring competition? What is And it really is a novel idea. It is something, going to your point, that most people, music creators, have not seen. They have been around people who lay tracks, make beats, in the studio with a vocalist, but very few of them, because it is such a close back in the, like, you got to know somebody to put you on game when it comes to scoring and music placement in film and television, even in podcast and other
Mhm.
content, because one reason why it's a very lucrative part of the music industry. And if you can get in that door, you can make six figures if you know how to get your song synced to the right project.
And you don't even have to have a hit, and
Don't even
nobody
have
has
to.
to even know your name or see your face. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And the
And if
money will
you
keep
are,
coming over and over again as long as that project is working. And I mean, the pandemic actually, we launched the website in 2019,
Mhm.
and then the pandemic hit in 2020, and the pandemic actually validated what we were doing and why
Yep.
we were doing it. Most people didn't understand, or it didn't really click
Mhm.
that what we were really saying is you need another way to monetize your music other than performance and
And
CD
Brandon.
sales. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Mhm.
And when you think about the industry, the music industry, the entertainment industry, of course, the performances went down, all of that went down. But everybody who's producing film content,
Yep. Matter of
it
fact,
went
in
up.
overdrive. Yeah, it
It
went
went
up
into
because,
overdrive because
yeah.
that streaming content was in high demand. And if
Mhm.
you were creating content for those streaming services, you needed that music.
You
So
needed that
those who
music.
are already in play, they reap the benefits of that. And unfortunately, we were just getting into the game, so we, we
Yeah.
were just trying to
Yeah, get in the door. And it's like, hey,
get the door.
and the other thing too that has come out, which is why Tennessee Arts Commission and Tennessee Entertainment Commission have been supportive, because you're not just talking about television and film projects. Now you're talking about how your music can go behind a podcast or intro
Mhm,
or a game or commercials. I mean,
mhm.
any type
Any
of
type of
content,
music, any type of content,
audio or video
visual
needs.
media content.
Yeah,
Yeah.
any needs music. So and that's been really good. The mix of competitions, we even segue, we were like, okay, we had for a couple of times, almost like the behind the scenes on making films, which
Mhm.
started showing that we need to start catering a little bit to the filmmakers. And then that launched into what we call the Auteur Club. Now let me
That
tell
launches
y'all,
you out too. I'm gonna let you take that one.
oh my God. Now, first of all, I'm super geeked about this because it really brings together all the players when it
Mhm.
comes to the creative community. Like, literally, it's not just the filmmaker, it's not just the director, it's not just the music composer or the music producer.
With a
It
script writer.
it can be the script writer, it can be the cinematographer, it can be the person who is your marketing specialist, your social media management, it can be the person who's providing you
Mhm.
distribution. We
Mhm.
had one gentleman from the UK. He
Mhm.
taught us about the importance of metadata and social
Mhm.
media marketing, how to link those things, and how that really does impact not only your music but your films that's out there as well, that's digital, because now in the digital space, that's how people are consuming their content. And now we have a whole relationship building platform where you can become a part of this club, VIP.
Mhm.
I know y'all like to be VIP exclusive,
Right.
and literally network. I mean,
Network.
we have one gentleman who was in Memphis years ago, and I always mess his name up, but he's in Bulgaria now, and he's provided us hours of
Andy.
Andy. Yeah, Andy has provided us over 4 to 6 hours, no, 6 to 8 hours on high class level approach to music composing that Oscar
Mhm.
award winning people use. Then the
Mhm.
other gentleman, we had a couple of movie distributors.
Mhm.
Everybody from our very own Deshauna Spencer, whose family, we calling her family,
Really?
originally from Memphis, and she has her streaming platform, Quayle TV. And shout out to Anwar Jameson. I saw the most recent email newsletter, and Coming to Africa
Will
is
be
now
streaming.
will be streaming
Mhm.
now on Quayle TV, which he shot in Ghana and Memphis. It's already been released, and now he's going to be in Ghana this month doing
Mm-hmm.
sequel. So
That's
that's how you work it out. And then we have other platforms that give you an opportunity to get your films out to the world, like various platforms. So all of those type of people are now starting to come into our Altar Club. And if you become a member, you have access to them, not through their secretaries, not through their
mm-hmm.
but literally just like Facebook, you can go in a DM. Hey, Delwan,
Love
come
you too, Dylan.
yeah, you can jump in their DMs on the Auteur Club and literally say, "Hey, can you look?" And one of the things too, I mean, check it out. It's scrolling across the bottom. Go to
Yeah.
onlocation.org and make sure you click on the Auteur Club. But one thing I like about it too, the way we have it built out, is that as a screenwriter, produced screenwriter, I have an opportunity to do two things. I can put my short film Smile on there, link it there for to be viewed, and they can check it out. I can also put a sample of my screenplay on my profile. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
things that matter of fact, even now, things that I'm doing is like I need to go into my profile and
Mm-hmm.
and fatten it up so that people can actually know what I'm working on now. So
And
I'm super
actually,
excited about that.
and actually, too, members of the tour club, they get a free web license from the Memphis Music Banq. So they can basically go and shop the website of the bank and choose music, and they get a web license absolutely free with their yearly membership to their tour club. And then just other the big we're right now we're building out the library with sample agreements and forms and things for music and filmmakers so that they'll have something at their fingertips to use when they're out doing their negotiations or getting things in the business side in order for their project. So it's a lot that's there as a resource for for filmmakers as well as music creators and everybody else in between.
And everybody in between. One, I've had a chance to host a couple of our monthly Altar Club. We do that on the third Tuesdays of the month, I
Hmm.
think, yeah, at 7 o'clock, and it's VIP virtual only. Just follow up in there, just join the club, and you'll get the notifications. And one of the ones that I really, really, really loved was the one I moderated, where different producers, local producers, and
Hmm.
filmmakers here really broke down their process to how they do their documentaries, their short films, their feature films, and we are due for a part two because it
Hmm.
was so much information, like you said, about the contracts, making
Hmm.
sure. I literally was in a conversation with a guy, and he worked as a cinematographer, or I'll say as an assistant director in some form or fashion, on a project that recently screened, and they literally had to go in and edit some things out because they didn't know that they needed contracts or paperwork on children that were in the film.
Mm.
It's
Mm-mm.
those kinds of things
Those
that
kinds of things.
and
And she needs to know. You need to
it's
know
like
ahead of time.
correct. And I think that it was such a casual way that the child was in there, because one thing I do know, a lot of people don't necessarily always cast people in, and they just shoot on the fly in a crowded
Hmm.
crowded space. And if you, by any chance, if your camera catches the face of a person, you need the documentation to say you can use their likeness in your project. And if you
Hmm.
don't have that release form, that's a lawsuit waiting to happen. And then
Absolutely.
particularly if it's a child,
Oh
and
yeah. That
God,
takes it to a whole nother
a
level.
whole nother level, and God forbid if your content is not G rated or PG.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
so
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
those types of things and resources that are in there that I really want to salute. And that's one reason why here in
Hmm.
Memphis we're doing innovative things, and the state is recognizing it. That's why the Tennessee
Yeah.
Entertainment Commission and the Tennessee Arts Commission is showing love.
And now the last project, which this is the part of the three legs, of the programming, is the beta test phase of the Memphis movie production
Yeah,
project. So that's what
that
we
sounds
are
good.
working with and developing right now, which is basically an opportunity to pull it all together, as well as kind of tap into workforce development for the below the line jobs. So this year we were able to partner up with the local Memphis and Shelby County Film and Television Commission,
Yes.
and we hosted two training classes. One was sewing for television, the other one was construction and painting for television. And we did both of those classes back in the summer. They were weekend 2-day classes. And with those who, I think it was only 12 people in each class, 12 or 13 in each class. So it's very selective. But those who completed those certifications were allowed to be a part of the directory for the Film Commission. And from what I hear, about 5 members from each of those classes were hired on the Young Rock project.
Congratulations.
That's basically filming here now. And that's what it's all about, essentially creating, increasing that pool of talent, below the line talent, and then and getting them ready for these types of jobs like a Young Rock. And the Memphis movie production, we hope that we can kind of slide into that space of providing those small budgeted projects that will help you kind of hone your skills. So if you just come out of that certification, you're looking for that first project to work on and maybe put some of those new skills to the test. Hopefully we'll be able to do that by providing that opportunity. These opportunities are for members of the tour club. So if you're below the line, you become a member of the tour club, then you'll hear about these opportunities, because that's where we're going to hire everybody. And I mean, Memphis Movie Production is just that. We're producing this movie in Memphis. So even though the script may, come from who knows where, but the production staff and the music, all of that's going to be Memphis people, that's going to be putting that to play, and the directors and everyone else. And we're pulling that information. We're pulling those people from the tour club. So membership does have its benefits, but it's just a way for us to basically come together and just work cohesively and
let me
build
jump in.
to do.
And Angela, for those, when they're talking about above and below the line is your director, your producer, your actor, your starring actors, and your screenwriter. But if you stay at the end, like I do, read credits of a movie, you will see hundreds, and sometimes, depending on the
Thousands,
and sometimes thousands of jobs. When those people names are going there, they get paid for that. So in some of the positions, and you might find yourself being one of these people or interested in this, if you are first assistant to a director, a line producer, a director of photography, some people call them cinematographers, production designers, production managers and coordinators, art directors. If you're an artist and you want to be a part of an art department crew, camera crew, such as camera operators, a best boy grip, key grips and stuff. Lighting crew include those gaffers and best boy electric and costume designers, hair and makeup crew, special effects crew, sound mixers, editors, composers, visual credits. All these people we want to be in the All Tour Club. Become a member. You don't have to be the filmmaker, the director, but if you assist the creative process in any way, we want you to be very involved in the All Tour Club, because without you, we can't make this stuff happen. Literally, literally cannot make a film without the crew. You cannot do it.
Absolutely.
So we want you to be a part of that, because as we get into making these movies through the Memphis Movie Production Program, it's all about workforce development. Hey, opportunities, if you're already in the game, but you you between projects and you just want to jump on something, this is a way to get involved. And again, organizations providing funding to help us with this workforce development is one of the things, is how this is happening. So I just felt like this would be a good time as we get to the wrap up on this day, since we're touting the horns of both, like, for example, the Arts Memphis Power for the NEA, and also the Arts Commission, at TennesseeArtsCommission.org. These are people who understand the importance of the work that has to be done in Memphis. And we know, we've been kind of short on the totem pole when it comes to workforce development, but we are in a position now, not just this organization, but many, many organizations and circles, to create a very viable workforce to help us build out our film industry, not just community, but our film industry.
Absolutely. So we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be right back.
Don't be just another number. Get an arts plate for your car or truck. Funding from the plate goes to arts programming in schools and communities across Tennessee. Tell the world you support the arts.
See, they use one of my favorite ones. They use the poet. I support the arts. Yay!
Yes, we did. All right. So as we're into our last segment, which is the track of the month. The MMB track of the month. Let me see. I didn't have this set up now. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen.
Which, of course, this is when we actually go to the Memphis Music Banq website, Memphis Music Banq. And I'll go ahead and put this up there, scrolling across the bottom, Memphis Music Banq. That's www.memphismusicbanq.com. Go to the website, and you literally can, if you are a music creator, this is an opportunity for you to make a deposit music that you would like creative visual artists, podcasters, filmmakers to use. So if you have some music like, I would love for that to be in a project, go to memphismusicbanq.com and create your own profile, upload music. There's a process to that. And then this will happen. You will be an opportunity to be featured on one of our monthly MMB Lives.
Absolutely. Now, it's not quite that easy, well, but you can submit. You can submit your music to the bank and go through that whole process, because it's all about learning how to get your music legally sound and ready for licensing. And once you have gone through that hurdle, then yes, after that, you are in the bank. We create a artist page for you, like we did for Richard Wilson, who's one of the publishers in the bank.
Hey, Dwayne Wilson, who is also, he's shouting us out. Hey,
yes.
See you too.
And so we're gonna listen to one of his tracks that's in the bank. It's called "Winter in the City," and I'm gonna go ahead and play it right here. Play a few seconds of it. Can you hear that, Christy?
I can hear it.
Winter in the city, no abundance of common sense. Big boys move up the river, while the rest of us sit on the fence.
Where do you kind of see this?
It is definitely.
This time feels all wrong.
Include this in your visual project. It would definitely be something I would put into a movie scene, probably where the main character is mirroring what's happening in the song. And one thing about Richard Wilson, you all, he's from the UK, but he's always had a strong love for American music, and more specifically for the blues. He came up, had a chance to chat with him one time and you can check out those interviews on the On Location Memphis YouTube channel. But he came up in the age of the Rolling Stones and things of that nature, and which of course is based in the blues. And now he literally moved to the U.S., to work on the West Coast. But when he retired from that, he came straight to Memphis because he wanted to be where blues and that sound is, so he can grasp that. And a lot of his music, I think, would be really good if you had a character. That's how it comes to me. Like, that's happening, or maybe that person is literally in an old truck and something's going on, and they got the music playing, and it's a song that's on the radio in that scene. Yes, exactly. So he just sounds like it would be a really good song for a jukebox. A scene where you got a jukebox. Yeah, like you're in a club or you're at a diner, and a person goes up, and instead of playing, a known song, you play that song, and it still fits the mood of that diner, and that waitress serving that guy who always comes in before her main boyfriend or husband come in, and he's drunk. Like, I don't know the song. I don't know.
You don't wrote a score, have you?
I wrote off of that
for the song.
Yeah, and Winter in the City, of course, and of course Christmas time. I mean, it really gives you an opportunity to be creative and let your imagination flow. Yeah, so what would you do with that song if you use it?
Christy, you know I'm not the script writer.
You say I don't know the whole
movie like that. You done wrote a whole script on it.
I know he was
behind that. No, ma'am.
I know. It's like basically he was in the truck.
In my lane.
Yeah, he was in the truck on the way to the diner to see the girl he always like, and he's sitting there serving. And he done put the song on the jukebox and her drunk.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
So thank you, Richard. Thank you, Richard.
Yeah, so that track is in the bank, among others. You can always go to memphismusicbanq.com. That's BANQ.com. You can browse Richard's page as well as all of the other publishers in the bank. You
All
can
styles of
browse
music, all
all
genres,
types of music, all genres of music.
world
You can search
music.
by
Yeah.
genre. You can search by vibe. Happy, sexy, jovial, sad, all different things, vibes that you can think of, emotions. But yeah, feel free, and you can create that account. Those accounts are free, and you can build your license. Licenses run as little as $50 and can go up from there, just depending on what you need and what type of project you have and what your budget is. So it's definitely user friendly for the independent filmmaker, visual media producer, or the professional, anybody in between,
Commercials.
personal use, commercials, whatever. So
If you're doing drone work and you just want some music behind it to show your clients, yeah,
absolutely, it's right there.
industrial
So
film.
yep. So I think well, we've come to the end of our
I know we did
another
really
MMB
good.
Live show. I know we did
I
really
know.
good. And this is the first one in a while we haven't had a guest, but it still turned out
I
really
know.
good. I
But
enjoyed it.
our guest this time was talking about the Tennessee Arts Commission. Be sure to check it out. The Tennessee Arts Commission. I'm going to make sure I put it up there one more time.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have it? I think I got it. There we go. There we go. There we go. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely, if you are and if you are in the arts community in any facet, if you don't feel like this could be of service to you, at least go to the website, read about it, and spread the word that
Right.
they are definitely are concerned and investing in the Memphis creative community.
Absolutely. And don't forget, if you're so inclined, be a part of the specialty license plates program and go ahead and get yourself a cool cat.
That's her favorite, ladies and gentlemen.
That's my
her
favorite one right there.
That's right. Get you a
All
cool
right.
cat. I love it.
Get you a cool cat. All right, everyone. I want to thank you
Hey,
for
wait a
joining
minute.
us. Huh?
Wait.
What?
I got to show this real quick, because we have coming up the Altar Club coming up this month.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We do our live stream, our tour club live stream this month. So I think it's going to be the third or the fourth Monday of the month. But we're going to be doing a table read of the script 12th Step, which is the first script that we've licensed to produce under the Memphis Movie Production Project, written by Phil DeReers Wallace. And so, yeah, if you so we're going to be calling on some of the members in the club to join us in that table read. It's, I actually talked to Phil today about it. So this will be the first time, and he's going to basically, he's not looking for people to act it out just yet. We're just going to do a table read on it. And then he's going to take some notes from that and kind of massage the script a little bit more. So that's going to be coming up. And I do think it's going to be the fourth Monday of October that we're going to do that at 7:00 in the Tour Club. So just, members, just check your emails. You'll get notifications about that. And then, like I said, we're going to be reaching out to some of you all to be a part of that table read.
So if you want to be a part of the table read, if you're an acting or an aspiring actor, or you're a voice artist, if you feel like you're someone who can read and communicate very well, become a member of the Altar Club so you can be a part of the table read.
Absolutely.
All right.
All right. Good night, everyone. See you next month.
See you next month.